The session comes at a time that I can confidently define as the culmination of my hip discomfort, which has reached a stage where I experience it daily, not on a constant basis, but in an undulating fashion. So this is a bad thing, but it's also a good thing in the sense that over time it has stabilized in a certain region. And I only say this is a good thing in quotation marks simply because it had never been so bad that I felt I could not deal with it given enough time and trying to prevent to piss it off on a daily basis for long enough that I was able to rein it back in. The fact that now it has become such a constant presence throughout my day, and it has come to the point where it actually does impact my training life negatively, and not only occasionally but on a regular basis. On this day I was meant to be doing squats, and I could not do that simply because I did not feel comfortable getting down in a deep squat position. The tightness that I was experiencing was preventing me from doing that, and of course I was not going to stubbornly go ahead with the session because I knew that I could still be doing something. I just could not do what I went there for. So that was sort of annoying, and I was annoyed at myself as well for not really being proactively seeking an option for treating this that was not just me trying to avoid upsetting the area and basically pumping blood around, which I'm sure it's the way to go, but I probably was looking at this from a slightly wrong perspective, and that finally probably was the last straw that broke the camel's back and made me consider reaching out to a physiotherapist and getting assessed. So long story short, this was before I got to see the physiotherapist, and the assessment basically went, he asked me what was going on, and I explained what my symptoms were. So after a brief evaluation, he seemed to have identified the problem residing in a slight misalignment of the SI joint. And the difference between the left and right side is very small, but apparently enough that over time it would create a bit of an imbalance and put too much strain on the tissues originating from it, mainly the glutes and all of the muscles that are wrapping around the hip from the back, and also the hamstrings, which also attach or originate down in the pelvic area. And apparently this has progressively led the glutes to become more and more tight, and the tightness itself has shortened the muscle and probably contributed in a kind of a vicious cycle way to the bone actually being slightly misaligned. So there was a bit of a combination, a dog that was chasing its own tail, that has now put me in this situation. So what he actually told me to do was really just doing some tissue mobilization with a foam roller and a release ball to try and basically break down the tightness when it's at its worst. This is something that I don't really have much experience with because I've always tried to tackle stuff with strengthening exercises, and also stretching wasn't really something that I have been doing very much of. And although I've been doing this for a week or so, I was just late with uploading stuff. I will be giving more details on what I'm gonna do in the next one. Ciao.